Welcome to you all who are watching me. I am Dr. Chandana's from Bangladesh. Today I am going to discuss about OSPE and VIVA questions of spinal cord. So let's begin. What is spinal cord? It is the lower cylindrical part of the central nervous system. We know central nervous system is composed of brain and spinal cord. The upper expanded portion is termed as brain and the lower cylindrical portion is termed as spinal cord. Where spinal cord is located? It is located within the vertebral canal, or in other words we can say it occupies upper two-thirds of the vertebral canal. The lower tapering end of the spinal cord is termed as conus medullaris. Now extension. Spinal cord extends from the upper border of the posterior arch of first cervical vertebra to the lower border of the first lumbar vertebra or upper border of the second lumbar vertebra in case of adult. Again I am repeating. The spinal cord extends from upper border of the posterior arch of the first cervical vertebra to the lower border of the first lumbar vertebra or upper border of the second lumbar vertebra in case of adult. But in case of children, it may extend up to third lumbar vertebra. Now, what is the length of the spinal cord? It is about 45 centimeter in case of male, and in case of female it is about 42 centimeter. Now what are the coverings of the spinal cord? The spinal cord is covered with three meninges from outwards to inwards: dura mater, arachnoid mater and pia mater. Now what type of tissue the meninges are? The meninges are connective tissue, and the spinal cord itself is nervous tissue. We know there are four types of basic tissue: epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscular tissue and nervous tissue. Spinal cord belongs to nervous tissue and the meninges belong to connective tissue. Now what are the spaces among the meninges? The spinal cord is located within the vertebral canal. So, the space between the dura mater and the vertebral canal is termed as epidural space. The space between the dura and arachnoid mater is termed as subdural space, and the space between the arachnoid and pia mater is termed as subarachnoid space. And this subarachnoid space is full of cerebrospinal fluid. Now what is this? This is phylum terminally. Now how will you define phylum terminally? It's a thread-like structure which extends from the conus medullaris to the back of the coccyx. It is the non-nervous portion of the spinal cord. It is the continuation of the pial sheath. It is about 20 centimeter in length. Again it is divisible into two parts: phylum terminally external and phylum terminally internal. Now what is the function of the phylum terminally? It serves as an anchor for the lower part of the spinal cord and dural sac. Now what is this? These are cauda equina. Now what do you mean by cauda equina? These are the bunch of nerve roots which arise from the lumbosacral enlargement and from the conus medullaris. We know the spinal cord shows two enlargements: cervical enlargement and lumbosacral enlargement. Cervical enlargement, it extends from the cervical port to first thoracic segment of the spinal cord, and the lumbosacral enlargement extends from lumbar 1 to sacral 2 segment of the spinal cord. Now what do you mean by spinal segment? It is the portion of the spinal cord from which a pair of spinal nerve arises. We know there are 31 pairs of spinal nerves. Now, how a spinal nerve forms? Let's go to the next picture, which is a spinal nerve. How does it form? It is formed by the union of the ventral and dorsal root of the spinal cord. And it's a mixed nerve. Why it is a mixed nerve? Because ventral root is motor and dorsal root is sensory. And this is the spinal segment. I have told the portion of the spinal cord from which a pair of spinal nerve arise. This portion is termed as spinal segment. This is a spinal nerve and this is another spinal nerve. So the portion of the spinal cord from which a pair of spinal nerve arise is termed as spinal segment, and there are 31 pairs of spinal nerves arise from the spinal cord and they are mixed nerve. Spinal nerve is about 1 centimeter in length and it is formed at the level of the intervertebral foramen. Now, what do you mean by ganglia? Collection of cell bodies outside the central nervous system is termed as ganglia. Now, what is cell body? We know a neuron is composed of cell body or soma or perikaryon and a number of processes, dendrite and axon. Axon is single and dendrites are multiple. So, cell body is the part of the neuron and neuron itself is the structural and functional unit of the nervous system. Now, what is the structure of the spinal cord? The spinal cord consists of central gray matter surrounded by white matter. Now, what do you mean by gray matter? Collection of cell bodies, neuroglia and blood vessels are termed as gray matter. And what do you mean by white matter? Collection of axons, neuroglia and blood vessels. Now, what do you mean by neuroglia? They are the supporting cells of the central nervous system. Now, artery supply of the spinal cord. Let's go to the next picture. Spinal cord is supplied by anterior spinal artery, posterior spinal arteries and the segmental spinal arteries. Now, anterior spinal artery, it is formed by the union of the two spinal arteries arising from the vertebral artery, and it descends downwards on the anterior surface of the spinal cord, ramifies into a number of small branches and enter into the substance of the spinal cord and supplies anterior to third of the spinal cord. And posterior spinal artery, they are 2 in number. They may arise directly from the vertebral artery or may arise indirectly from the posterior inferior cerebellar artery. And they descend downwards close to the posterior root of the spinal cord and ramifies into a number of small branches and enter into the substance of the spinal cord and supplies posterior 1/3 of the spinal cord. And these anterior and posterior spinal arteries are reinforced by segmental spinal arteries. Segmental spinal arteries arise from outside the vertebral canal. After entering into the vertebral canal, they divide into anterior and posterior radicular arteries and accompany ventral and dorsal root of the spinal cord and anastomose with the anterior and posterior spinal arteries to supply the spinal cord. Besides this, there are additional feeder arteries which anastomose with the anterior and posterior spinal arteries. Among them, one important artery is the great anterior artery of Adamkis, which is also termed as arteria radicularis magna, which is the major source of blood supply to the lower 2/3 of the spinal cord. So this is the artery supply of the spinal cord. Now, developmental source. Let's go to the next picture. Spinal cord develops from the neural tube, and neural tube develops from neuroectoderm. From neuroectoderm, at first neural plate, then neural fold, then neural tube develops. And from the lower cylindrical part of the neural tube, spinal cord develops. So, spinal cord is a derivative of the neural tube, which is a derivative of neuroectoderm. Now, what are the tracts of the spinal cord? We know there are some ascending and descending tracts of the spinal cord. Let's go to the next picture. These are the tracts of the spinal cord. I have already mentioned there are ascending and descending tracts of the spinal cord. Now, what do you mean by tracts? Collection of axons in the central nervous system is termed as tract or funiculus or fasciculus. And descending tracts are also termed as motor tracts, and ascending tracts are also termed as sensory tract. Now, what are the descending tracts? Number 1, corticospinal tract. Number 2, olivospinal tract. Number 3, vestibulospinal tract. Corticospinal tract, again it is divisible into lateral corticospinal tract and anterior corticospinal tract. This is the tectospinal tract, vestibulospinal tract, olivospinal tract, rubrospinal tract. These are the descending tracts, which are also termed as motor tracts. And these are the ascending tracts: anterior spinothalamic tract, lateral spinothalamic tract, and anterior spinocerebellar tract and posterior spinocerebellar tract. The white matter of the spinal cord is divisible into anterior white column, lateral white column, and posterior white column. So this is all about the OSPE and VIVA questions of the spinal cord. Please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. Don't forget to like, share and put your valuable comments on the video. See you on the next video. Thanks for being with me.